Hi, horse friends. I really think you guys are going to love this story. It's a story of courage and bravery from a young 16-year-old girl who most likely saved the lives of four horses in a barn fire. This is their recount of the fire and how things happened. So let us know your thoughts.
Hi, horse friends. It was a warm summer afternoon in rural Hungary. The roads were quiet, lined with tall grass and the gentle hum of cicadas. In a small car making its way home from a show jumping competition sat 16-year-old Blanka, a young rider with a lifetime's worth of love for horses packed into her still young years. In the driver's seat was her mother, who had spent countless weekends ferrying her daughter to competitions, training sessions, and lessons. They had been driving for some time. Blanka had drifted off into a light sleep, the kind that comes after a long day of competition and travel. But then, without warning, something pierced the quiet, a column of thick, dark smoke curling into the sky in the near distance. Reka's eyes fixed on it instantly. There was no mistaking what it meant. "Blanka, wake up! Fire!" her mother called sharply. Blanka sat up, blinking at the sight. "It was so black, I knew it wasn't just a little fire," she later recalled. "I thought, this is really bad." They were close enough to see the source now, a barn engulfed in fast-spreading flames, the heat visible even from the roadside. Without hesitation, Reka pulled over. She grabbed her phone, calling the emergency services, while scanning the scene for anything, anyone that needed help. "It was all happening so fast," Reka said later. "I called the fire services straight away, but I could see the flames were moving towards the stables. I remember thinking, we don't have time to wait." It wasn't just a barn burning. The flames were dangerously close to a row of stables, and somewhere inside there were horses. Blanka had been around horses since before she could remember, riding from the age of just 2.5. She knew their instincts, their fears, their body language. In that moment, she didn't stop to think about her own safety. She didn't pause to calculate risk. "I just saw the horses and thought, I can't let anything happen to them," she said. "I didn't think about myself at all. I just wanted to help them." The first horse was young, restless, and closest to the fire. The heat was intense, the air thick with smoke. Blanka approached slowly, speaking softly over the roar of the flames. "Come with me, it's all right, let's go." She reached for the rope, feeling the animal's tremors through it. Just as they reached the outside, the hay barn's roof gave way with a deafening crash. The noise was so loud, Blanka remembered. "For a second, I thought everything was going to fall in." Her hands were already marked by the rope, raw, burning with friction burns, but she didn't let go. She passed the first horse into the care of someone waiting outside, then turned immediately back towards the danger. "I didn't want to stop," she said. "There was still more in there, I thought. If I stopped now, something could happen to them." The second horse was further inside, eyes rolling in panic, nostrils flared wide. The stable was dim and thick with smoke now, and the sound of collapsing timbers echoed overhead. Yet Blanka's calm voice managed to cut through the chaos. One by one, she brought them out, the third horse, and then the fourth. Each rescue was faster than the last two, but no less dangerous. When asked again why she'd risked so much, Blanka's words stayed the same. "I didn't want anything to happen to the horses. I just wanted to save them and help them get to safety. Someone had to." Her mother added quietly, "As a parent, you worry about your child's safety, but in that moment, I knew she wasn't going to walk away while the horses were still in danger. That's just who she is." Minutes after her last rescue, the local fire brigade arrived. The immediate threat to the horses had passed. Flames still tore through the hay barn, but the animals were safe, gathered together a good distance from the heat. I remember finally breathing out, Reka said. We'd done what we could, and now it was in the firefighters' hands. Passers-by who had watched the scene unfold were only just realizing what they had seen. A teenager running again and again into danger, leading out frightened, half-ton animals as calmly as if she were walking them to a paddock. Word of Blanka's actions spread quickly. In July, she was formally honored by Hungary's defense minister in a public ceremony held at the prestigious Hungarian Derby. It was so strange to be standing there, Blanka admitted. I didn't think it was such a big thing, and I still don't. People congratulating me is nice, but I don't feel like it was anything extraordinary. I just had to do it. The horse and hound coverage of a rescue also carried an important reminder. Fire safety on equestrian properties is not optional, it is essential. The British Horse Society advises to keep hay and straw stored well away from stables. Test electrical systems annually. Keep firefighting equipment accessible and maintained. Leave halters by each stable door. Always evacuate the horse closest to the fire first. As Blanka's mother put it, you don't think these things will happen to you until they do. I hope people hear this story and check their own safety measures. A few minutes can change everything. Blanka's bond with horses runs deep. She has trained for years, competing at shows across Hungary and beyond. Her family once lived in Madrid to further her riding education and immerse her in new challenges. I've been riding almost my whole life, she said. Horses have given me so much. Saving them was the least I could do. Over the years, she and her mother have rescued numerous small animals, not as part of a job, but because it's simply who they are. If we see something in trouble, Reka said, we help. It's that simple. On June 29th, a barn fire could have ended in tragedy for 4 horses. Instead, a young rider's instinct to protect them changed the outcome entirely. Blanka Bodi may not think of herself as a hero, but to those she led to safety and to the many people who have since heard her story, she is the embodiment of quiet, decisive bravery. I just hope, she said softly, that if something like this happens again, there will always be someone willing to help. Sometimes courage isn't in the headlines. Sometimes it's in the smoke, in the heat, in the gentle tug of a rope, and in the voice that says, "Come with me, you're safe now."